Hello everyone, this is Coach Prashant Manik Gawai. I am an AFCB certified football coach from AIFF and I'm from a scouting background done through AIFF and FIFA. I'm working with Kian Soccer Academy as a technical director from last 5 years and I've been coaching children from the age of 3 to under 18. Currently I've been coaching 4 to 5 athletes from our academy who have represented different state tournaments, who have represented national tournaments and been a part of the I-League team.
Hello there. Today we have with us Mr. Prashant Manik Gawai, or as the world fondly calls him, Paddy, Coach Paddy. Is 27 years of age and is a AFC B license holder. He is also an AIFF and FIFA certified scout. So all the aspiring footballers out there and their parents, this is a very informative, this is a very knowledge driven podcast for you, where you will get to know actually what grassroots football means, and if you want to pursue a career in football or you want to make your son, your daughter, your ward a footballer professionally, you should definitely watch this podcast till the end. Hello and welcome to the podcast, Coach Paddy. I guess you are comfortable me calling you Coach Paddy?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much, Dheeraj, for getting me on the podcast. Very grateful to be here. I started this journey as a professional footballer. I have my elder brother, Mr. Kishore Gawai, who got me into football as a coach. He is here in the industry since last 16 years. So he started the academy in the mindset where he wants to build players for the nation. He wants to progress them and ultimately see them competing in the highest level of football. So this is how I got boosted by him, and 3 years under him I took the experience as a ordinary coach, a basic football player. There I saw my purpose was not only about playing but also getting the kids involved, getting them involved for the joy of the game, making them play small sided games, because obviously in the grassroots you don't play 11 aside much. So the format is like 3 against 3, 4 against 4, 5 against 5. So from there in that self, I started doing my courses. That is 2021 I did my D license, and I still remember the instructor who got discipline is Coach Mohan Das, who is the assistant coach for the ISL Mumbai City right now. So still I'm in touch with him. He was my mentor, my elder brother was my mentor, and from there till today I have completed my AFCB under the span of 5 years, and still I am learning, I am growing, because I have to complete my A diplomas and I have to complete my AFC Pro diploma as well. So thank you so much, sir, for calling me.
It is a pleasure and a privilege. So when we talk about D license, C license, B license, can you elaborate and tell us a little bit more about it? What is this about the coaching perspective?
Yes, so what happens in a D license course, it is a beginner entry level course for a grassroots. So it is specifically designed only for, how you will deal with the children. So grassroots in the term is like a kids who joins the academy at the age of 4, let's say till the age of 10, because we have 4 phases. So one is the fun phase, because the kid has just come to the academy, let's say 3 years, 4 years. So from the age of 4 till the age of 10, it's a base, because let's say you build a tower or you build a building, so the base has to be strong. So it is a foundation level course, a D license course, what we feel, how you will deal with the children at that age, how will you try to share your ideas to the children, how will you make them make play football in a fun and loving environment, because you cannot put the tactics at that age, at the age of 6 and 5, because they are still small, their brains are still small. So what the basic components is teach in D license is like 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v2s, 4v4s, and it leads up to 5v5. So let's say your kids join the academy at the age of 3. So in D license mostly the drills are like 1 against 1, against 2 against 2, 3 against 3. So fewer number of opponents, and how it progresses to 7v7 and 9v9 in C license. You cannot jump from D license to C license within a span of like 2 months or something. So you have to work with the kids first. let's say in the 5v5 environment, you try to spend as much as time as possible, try to create a fun, loving environment with the children. You know, at that age, I feel technique is more important because it is the foundation. Because any player at that age requires a good ball control, a good first touch, not only with the right foot but also equivalent with the left foot as well.
Challenge yourself with each other, okay? Go in front of each other, use your inside foot, outside foot, and go away from them. Okay, as you go away from the defender, you have to be quicker. Okay?
Good evening, this is Kishore Gavai here. Okay, so 1v1 training basically वो attacking and defending पे हो रहा है. Okay, and multiple times पे वही चीज़ें दोहराई जाती है. So if we go with 1v1, तो अगर उसका अगर agenda defend का है, so we see that वो defending पे वो 3 से 4 बार वही सेम चीज़ पे वो रिपीट हो रहा है, सो दैट वो थरा हो जाता है. व्हेन वी गो विथ 3v3, सो 3v3 बेसिकली उनके मूवमेंट्स पे आते हैं. ओके, बिकॉज नॉर्मली क्या हो जाता है, बच्चे 3v3 में जस्ट दे स्टैंड एट वन प्लेस, बट व्हाट ओवर हियर वी डू इज वी टेल देम ऑफ द बॉल मूवमेंट्स, so which will help them gradually when they come to 5v5 because they get 2 add-on players जहाँ पे हमारा जो एक basic फंडा है that we keep the ball in play. That is what we try to do. So if you have seen Indian football right now, it's at the growing stage because they are doing build up. Okay, they are trying to keep the ball, they are being confident. Earlier they used to play aerial balls, so 70% गेम सिर्फ एरियल बॉल हो रहा था, बट आज के तारीख में हम बॉल बिल्डअप करने बोल रहे हैं, बॉल रख के खेलने बोल रहे हैं, जहाँ पे बच्चों में वो कॉन्फिडेंट आ रहा है कि हम खेल सकते हैं. ओके, सो ये हमारा बिगनर प्रोग्राम हो जाता है जहाँ पे हम 1v1 कर रहे हैं, 2v2 कर रहे हैं, देन गोज विद 3v3 जहाँ पे इंटरमीडिएट प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं, एंड देन गोज अहेड विद द एडवांस बैच 5v5, एंड देन वी हैव अ एलीट बैच which trains 7v7 and 9v9. Okay, these are the different batches what we run over here, basically keeping things in mind, the tournament, what they are playing, okay, what format they are playing, and as per that we are giving the training over here.
The best part about the D license and dealing with the grassroots kid is you can work at that age similarly with both the legs. Let's say if you want to build a player stronger on both the legs, that is the only age, because once you go to C license, or else if you are dealing with a kid who's 11 and 12 years, it becomes slightly difficult for to, you know, because that muscle memory again, because his habitual thing is that he is using only his right foot, or else he is using only his left foot. So that is one part of the coaching what I feel. Similarly, once you complete 6 months of span, you are eligible to do a C license course. So in that C license course you have modules. So I remember when I done my C, I had 2 modules. That is module 1, you have a 2 months break, and in that 2 months break you have assignments, you have to complete logbooks, you have to prepare a match analysis report. So as I say that coaching is a 24/7 job. You cannot, you know, just coach and then go, but you have to do the reflection also of the session. Is the child adapting? Is the child evolving? So in C license what happened, I got to know more about the tactical side of football, because D is mostly like how you train individuals in the team, let's say 1 against 1, 2v2. But once you go for a C license, you get 7v7 training and you get 5v5 more often. So there is a lot of positional awareness, there is a lot of tactics which comes in. Players get more responsible, they try to take more ownership, because in 5v5 the space is small. You get the ball more number of times, so that you get more number of touches also on the ball. So that is the reason, as I said, the foundation is so strong at that age, because it's a small space. Coming back to 7v7, it is like, as I said, it is more tactical, it is more positional based, because most of the coaches, like they try to get the kids in the system at the once they do a C license, because they also have to work for 7v7 and lead to 9v9. Again, from C to going to B, you have to wait for an 1 year gap, because in that 1 year again you have to make yourself thoroughly, because what happens, from 7v7 9v9 you have to go to 9v9 and 11v11. So your number of sessions with the team, your development with the team, you as a coach, your expertise with the team, so that all plays a very important role. So that was the thing between C and B. And obviously in B license there are a lot of tactical demands in the courses also, the instructor. So what happens in 11v11, now they have brought in this 11v11 in a B license also, which plays a very important role for any coach, I feel, to learn from it. And now in A license, it is more tactical, but it is more of 11v11. So what happens initially, the only difference, what position specific approach has come, and the earlier the earlier licenses were more in general. So that is the difference. He is getting more space, more number of opponents, more number of decision making. So that is where I feel the change has come. It's a very good change what I feel. And coming back from B to A license, there's again a gap of 2 years. So I did my B last year, 15th of December 2025. I cannot apply for my A for the next 2 years. I completed my beach soccer course this year, and I am the only coach in Maharashtra, the third coach in Maharashtra to complete it. So before me there was Suraj, who is the assistant coach for our national team. So he's also from Mumbai. And in my batch there was Akshay. Akshay and me were batchmates for this course. So since Akshay is elder to me, I have much more respect to all my elders. Akshay, you are the second coach. I am the third coach because of the age factor. But we have no grudges among all, because we know we three are the official license holders in this course, and we three are very good friends. So this was the thing where where you go for the courses, you interact with the courses, you get to know 24 other candidates, what is happening in their district or in their state. Is your state behind, or is their state behind in terms of competition, development? And coming back to A license, it is more of tactical.
Very in-depth knowledge, and glad to know such detailed observations about the game. Now when we talk about grassroots football, generally what we have seen is the kids start picking up any game, whether it is football or cricket or hockey or any gymnastics. It is around the age of around 6 to 8 is where you actually get to know that probably they might be able to pursue it a little seriously. So what role does a parent play, and what would be your suggestion or advice to the aspiring parents for their students, for their kids? What support should they give, and otherwise as well, because we all of us know that India is a very academically inspired country. यहाँ पर मार्क्स कमाना बहुत ज़रूरी रहता है, तो वो स्टूडेंट के ऊपर एक ऑलरेडी एक इनबिल्ट प्रेशर होता है. सो अदर देन दैट वी वुड लाइक टू नो हाउ डू यू हैंडल द पेरेंट्स दैट यू इंटरैक्ट विथ, एंड व्हाट रोल डज अ पेरेंट प्ले?
It's a heck of a question. Good question. So I feel before coming to any sport, we have in our academy we have a toddlers program. So we have a gross motor program, coordination, balance, stability for a child who is 18 months old. So from the age of 18 months old till the age of 3, he is focusing or she is focusing only on the same motor skills. Basic movements, aiming, throwing, balancing yourself on the beam, okay, single leg balance, double leg balance, hopping on an obstacle, okay. So this all builds your gross motor skills first. A message to the parents is, I'll tell you, it is a process. Trust the process, because let's say आपका बच्चा अगर 4 साल का हो, in our academy we play 1v1, we play 2v2, and if he's better in 1v1, 2v2, he goes to an intermediate program. Now intermediate program is designed only for 3v3 and 4v4. There is no access to 5v5, because you know how to pass, you know how to dribble, or you know how to defend 2v2, that is press and cover, because the first one goes to press, the other one covers. So the objective here is, okay, not allow a penetration pass, or else how you both will defend the goal, should not consider any goal. So now what happens, it is 2v2. Now the progress is 3v3. So there's one, let's say last man, we don't call it as a goalkeeper in 3v3, and you have 2 players. Similarly with the player who has a ball, you have 3 players and attacker. So this system is built in such a way in our academy that from 1v1, how do you progress to 11v11? And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of time. So this is what, I just had a meeting last week with my parents also on Google Meet, that I said it takes years and years of development, and with the development, quality matches. Because you can give only training, but you also as a coach should know, as an academy, that where is the child lacking? Is he lacking in decision making, or is he lacking in mentality on match day, or is he not prepared on match day to play quality football? So this is where the assessment comes in, and then we try to assess the child. And as I said, it is just a message of trusting the process, trust the academy, whichever academy you are in. Even if you are a part of my academy, trust the coach, trust the process, and you have to be very much transparent and clear to your child, because at this age I feel development is much more important than trophies, because 6 you cannot put that pressure. But yes, obviously at the age of 8 in our academy, I don't tolerate. I say my under 7, no, you either go for gold or you don't play at all. Because if you build that habit at the age of 8, let's say you go for a war, you're representing your nation, you come second, your nation is gone. And there is no bronze or this medal, silver medal for second and third place. You have to fight for the trophy. But at the cost that we don't put much mental pressure. It is just a boost. Okay, boys, you have to go for a goal. But after the age of 10, 12, according to the maturity of the child, it keeps on going. And then, the second thing is about the pressure of the child also. Because every child builds differently. Every child comes from a different background. And every child builds at his own pace. This is what we feel, because might be a kid who's with us since last 2 years or 3 years is much lower than the one who has just joined in. And a background from sports is also important, because if you are a sporty parent who played football, basketball, any sport, you are much more behind your child to, guide him in a good way as compared to the parents who are not from a sports background. So what we feel is a good parenting support, trusting the academy, trusting your child, because the time you compete, the time you compare your child with some other child, you're gone. Because it will create insecurity. The only thing a parent should compare about his child is how was he 24 hours before and how is he now. After 6 months, you see the change. This is the message to the parents what I will put in from my end. Okay, so as I said, education and sports is very important, but both are them on the same concept. But there's a myth, what I feel I have heard a lot of times, sports खेल के आगे, there's no future in India. But I feel currently during the Commonwealth Games also, India is doing fantastic as coming to football also, as coming to any sport. If there is a good parenting support, okay, and if you are supporting the child both in education and you are giving a freedom of expression to the child, okay, you decide what is best for you. And if a child is a promising talent, okay, who can go ahead in future, who can earn some higher opportunities to compete at the higher level, definitely a parent should go and watch through it, because what happens at that age, he can be an example to the upcoming generation.
Hi, my name is Nikhil Fernandez, and my son Nikano Fernandez.
My name is Bharti. I'm parent of Dakshraj.
Karan Jain, this is my son Rudra Jain. He's
Who's been a part of KSA since he was 3.5-year-old. This journey started with me, because being a football player, representing my school, college, club, and that's where the story just began. And now my dreams are with my son, who will fulfill whatever I have been looking forward for.
I'm a working man, okay, I'm on a job, but then I made it a priority that whenever his training periods are there, so whenever the sessions are there, I make it a point that I get him wherever Sir says. Basically, it's in Powai and Vadala. But along with this, even we have to do some sacrifices if you really want your kid to be more focused in sport, and if you really think that he can do something good, and he shows us that attitude that yes, he loves football a lot. So even along with the kid, even parents have to do a lot of sacrifice and get the things done. So we manage somehow.
Yeah, and then because it is a team sport, then you need to, they know how to react, how to, in a group, how a kid can, sometimes the conditions are not going well, but because they see a lot of pressure in the games and all, it's very easy for them to manage that time. They don't need so much of interference, because they know that, okay, if I be quiet or I be patient, I'll get through it, or they know when to speak a lot of times.
So now we have talked about parents so much, but what we have seen is you are actually involved in grassroots football development. Now when we talk about grassroots football development, as we all know, it starts from 8 to 10 years old. So Kids nowadays are more interested in the screen time and watching digital gadgets, and then having the disciplined food habits, having the right nutrition, having the right discipline for workout. How challenging it is to convince a kid of 8 to 10 years to ensure that he cuts down on his screen time, he has the right nutrition, he works out every day, because the world generally is moving from offline towards online, spending time on screen and online mediums. So how difficult it is, and what talk do you give to your players to make sure that they follow this routine?
So what happens, a grassroots child, since the age of 4, let's say 6 to 10, this age is mostly a child is in a school hours. Let's say उस school में होता है बच्चा. So let's say he wakes up at 6:30, 7. He goes to a school in the morning, let's say from 8 to 2. Again from 2:30 to 4 he has his own family time, or then let's say 4 to 5 he goes to tuition, and then again from 6 to 8 he comes in the academy, he trains with us. So if you see, on an average, and apart from it, there are some students also who goes for preschool training, those who represent the school. So basically these kids are already in the system before the coach and the parent is getting him involved. Because कैसा होता है कि अगर बच्चा स्कूल टीम के लिए खेलता है, so most of the schools they train in the morning. Okay, you are a good bunch of kids, you train for the school team because you are representing the school team. These parents and kids are already in the system. You just have to boost them in a good way. What happens to a child who is not a sports player and who just trains in the school hours? He has nothing to do about sports ahead, or else he has no training activities in the evening, late evening hours. So first thing what I would suggest is the discipline in the child, okay, the diet, second thing, and the third thing is water intake, okay, because most of time what happens 8 hours of school, 1 hour of tuition is already 9 hours of the 24 hours clock, and the child is again traveling to us in the academy, let's say 30 minutes, 1 hour again, let's say 10 hours of the day is behind such activities, and he comes to me for an hour only. Let's say in a day, let's say it's Monday, he comes to me on Monday, 7 to 8 he comes to us. Now my question to the parents is, he is with you for the 23 hours. He is with me for 1 hour. I know in that 1 hour, he is the best what he can show me. But what about this 23 hours? That is very important for me and our academy as a coach, because we try to, drop in messages to the parents also in the night. Especially on match days. Is he recovered good? Has he slept good? So what happens, there is a separate portion of diet what we add to the child's journey, especially the 18 players, because 18 players on an average, they play 3 games on the weekends, plus they have 5 hours of training, Monday to Friday, 1 hour of training. So what happens, these kids, they require, first thing is, the best recovery what I feel is the sleep, because if your sleep is good, it will help you to recover good, it will help you to perform good, okay. So the second part about nutrition is, nowadays I've seen children in the school, they have this samosas, vada pav, they have this chips, fruity. So see, at that grassroots stage, you cannot stop it directly. So you have to, put in examples. Ronaldo, Messi. Okay, have you seen their videos? Have you seen their eating habits? Do you really think is your idol? Are you copying your idol? So if you just pass on small instinct to the child's brain, okay, he tries to adapt. Okay, no, he's working hard, mama. Ronaldo is eating bananas, avocados, he's eating this, that. So a child to manipulate his brain, it is much more easier at the age of, grassroots, because you cannot tell a 14-year and 16-year-old kid, "Arey, tu ye mat kha." He will go and eat the same thing if you tell him. So that is the difference what grassroots plays, because these kids are innocent at that age. And for them, for the kids, their coach is the second parent. We have seen calls at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the night. Sir, कल से मैं मेरे बच्चे को एकेडमी भेज नहीं रही हूँ, खाना नहीं खा रहा. So बच्चे को वो हमारा fear है that okay, it has come to the coach notice. Now the coach will not allow you to train, and we just tell him to in a good way so that he eats something, because he has to be fresh for the school. So the amount of energy a child requires, it is in the hands of parents. It is not obviously in the hand of a coach, because as coach we can guide. Okay, this is the diet chart, you follow this. But it totally depends on the parent about the quality of the portion carbs you're giving it in the short recess, in the bigger lunch break. What are you doing? Again, he's coming back from school. Slight bit of fiber you can put it to the child, let's say a fruit or something. Again, before the training, half an hour, 45 minutes, are you giving him bananas or something so that he has that energy to sustain? Because kya hoga, if he is drained out in studies throughout the day, 1 hour of football, I feel, will change his concept and uski muscle memory और उसकी time management वो cycle fix होगा.
With studies, it is difficult to manage. So if you go to a place where you are being given proper instruction, there is fitness, there is something about diet and everything. So that makes a lot of sense. And then football is a team sport, so it really helps. Especially my son, it has helped him in his school also. It has made him very disciplined. He's very conscious about eating, about getting up. His routine is all set, and being on time everywhere for his games, that comes naturally to him. So if it is school or football comes first, I'll say.
And he's been playing very nicely over here. The reason to put him in this academy is that because my child is very hyperactive, we had to channelize his energy somewhere. And I thought football is the best way to channelize everything. And coming to the academy has trained him in a very good manner. He's become mentally very strong. And sports, of course, helps you to take pressure in your future life also. It teaches you how to be more patient.
And obviously, coming back to nutrition, as I said, it is in parent side. Make sure you give, as parents, give good amount of protein, carbs, okay, to the child's diet because he's in the school, okay. Once he comes back, in the normal whatever you make, normal basic Indian food, what we have, you have sprouts, you have veggies, you have chapati, dal, rice. So this is the basic what we have, but you need to understand your child's demand also, because at times, since he's been training throughout the day, he's into fatigueness. So he might require good amount of might be you require more amount of protein than me because you've been trained more hard because you had a session before the school also. So it differs from players to players. So that's what the message to the parents from my end.
Coming next to, in our country, we have states like Kerala, Goa, Northeast, which are known to have football in their culture and are the football powerhouses. But on the other hand, Maharashtra, though it is one of the largest state, economically the most advanced state in the country, I would not call it unfortunate, but we are not looked upon neither as a sporting state nor as a footballing powerhouse. And you have been through the footballing journey for the past 10-15 years almost, starting as a player and today as a coach. So, and you have also been involved in other state teams. What difference do you see and what Maharashtra can do better, or what steps have been taken by Maharashtra as on date so that we build our football team and be a football powerhouse?
Agreed. So first of all, I think the culture, okay, because and discipline. I've been at Manipur. I've been to Goa because I've done my 3 licenses in Goa. I've done my futsal course, I've done my beach soccer, and I've done my B diploma. The quality of players is same as compared to Goa and Mumbai. What I feel, the current forecast, what I have seen in our Maharashtra team. The only thing is about the nutrition and the recovery. Okay. Obviously, the players who are from Nagaland, Manipur, outskirts, they have a built genetic what they follow because the speed comes and their physicality is very but natural. So Maharashtra, what happens? We have good players who are technically sounded. We have players who are very good with the ball. We have players who are technically sounded, who knows what is the demand of the coach. And I feel Maharashtra is doing a good commendable job now because we just launched a project Mahadeva, which is a scholarship program for 5 years. So the talented girls from Maharashtra districts, the boys and girls both, they are in Siagarh complex, which is in Lonavala. So they are getting mentored against the pro licensed coaches. So that is where a good significant step has been increased. Second thing is Maharashtra is much more active in competitions. So we have more game time. We have more number of leagues which happens usually in Maharashtra at youth level and grassroots level. But the amount of league is constrained in if you go to Goa and if you go to Meghalaya, that part, because they have their own district, the state body which handle. But here, let's say there are private leagues like you have the YFC, that is the Youth Football Championship, we have the DPDL, we have Leno, we have SFL. So these are all advantage to the grassroots and the youth which is upcoming. So I feel the launch of Project Mahadeva obviously has put in a good significant team, because initially we didn't had girls to participate for the district team or else the state team. Nowadays girls have also started taking up football. So it is a good significant change in terms of development what I feel, and the setup what we have for the Project Mahadeva is also excellent. Comparing back to the quality of players, yes, we do have the quality to compete. Maharashtra is also doing commendable job, because we just won the under 14 tier 2 champions, our girls. They were in, I think they were against Uttar Pradesh. So they won 4-1. Kirti Patil was a coach, and we had a bunch of good girls from Maharashtra districts. Obviously, some of them were from Thane district, Pune district, Palghar district, Mumbai district. So Maharashtra went and dominated the tier 2 league, which ultimately qualified for tier 1 league in under 14 category. So that is a good sign what I feel, and that was a boost to the upcoming generation that yes, also we can compete at that level.
You just mentioned that something that Maharashtra players lack is recovery.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Yes.
So can you please elaborate and educate us about it?
Yes, so recovery in terms of diet and nutrition, okay, there are types of recovery which every football player follows. Obviously, at the age of after the age of 10, what they follow. Some of them they have their foam rolling, some of them they do ice bath. Okay, but again I'll tell you, ice bath, it delays the recovery. It is not an instant recovery. This thing. Some of them they had a red light therapy. If you have seen Haaland in the World Cup, okay. The best part for recovery is, I feel, a good sleep. Okay, since the gadgets and the generation has been more online, I can see players who are getting trained hard for 2 hours. Their job is to have a good diet, read some book or something, analyze yourself. Okay, do the references, whatever the coach has taught you, just write it on a book or something. Okay, where do you need to improve, rather than you go and scroll reels on Instagram, if you want to go to that level. Because the choice is yours. Hard work is a choice. We cannot beg hard work as coaches. It should be within from the player. There should be a spark. So the recovery here plays a very important role. I have seen players who play a match at 6 p.m. and 10 o'clock I seen them in a pub. So you are putting wrong habits to your body. Your job is to recover so that your coach sees you fresh for the next training session. Because obviously after a match there is a training session where you work on your weaknesses, or it's a recovery session. Why Meghalaya, I've seen Manipur, I've seen players of Delhi, I've seen players of Goa, they recover faster because first of all is the climatic condition.
Okay.
If you go to Shimla, Manali, it is much more colder.
Yeah.
So what happens if you have trained, if you have done a rigid training, that naturally recovers your body because of the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Here, I'll say in Mumbai, because of the pollution, what we have, and as I said, the recovery belongs to the players.
So a player progresses from a district level matches to state level matches, and then if he really has that capability and that skill set, is where he goes into the national teams. So where does this player actually gets discovered? So I would like to know about, you are yourself a coach for AIFF. Now AIFF coach is
Accredited coach.
Huh?
Accredited coach.
Accredited coach. It's All India Football Federation and FIFA. So what do you actually look into in a player when you are scouting a player for probably a district team, a state team, and then if all goes well for the national team? What qualities does the player need to have, and other things?
It's a very insightful question. Okay. Kudos to this question, sir. First of all, scouting happens usually after the age of 13, because you cannot scout a player at the age of 8, 9 and offer him a scholarship to a residential academy, because the child is not prepared to leave his parent. Okay, because in the residential academy he has to take care of his own. Okay, he has to be independent. So coming back to scouting players for the state, district and the national team, what happens, I've been working with Thane district since a very long time. So first thing what I see in a player is the quality, okay, quality and mentality. So for district team, what happens, since inter-district it's a knockout tournament, okay, we need to have players who have we say a attitude of a player, the mentality of a player, never giving up attitude of a player. With that, the sync of a good technical player, because at the age of 13, player are in that tactical and technical phase. So what happens, his mentality plays a very important role, because in district level there are 28 to 32 districts, okay, it is a low medium platform what I say, but representing the state, what happens, there are scouts who have been come from through AIFF. So what happens, you will never know there is somebody sitting beside you and is observing you, because football is tough, it is not easy to play. So to compete at state and national level, we need to see a shoulder to shoulder fight, a face to face fight, where we as scouts, we see, is he really capable to go forward? Additional thing is, any scout will first look an attitude of a player, okay, at that level, because the mentality plays a very important role, as I said, because if you have lost the battle here, your legs will stop working, your brains will slower the decisions in the match. If you are not entering with a good mindset that you have come so far, you are just one step away to reach the national team. Here the mentality plays a very important role, because your mentality will only push you. It's either you versus you. Don't compare your friend is there. How will you make your chance on the podium? That is much more important. Why do we do scouting only in 11v11 is because it's a proper match format. Because in World Cup also it is 11v11. So we want to see how a child plays 11v11 first. Because it is much easier for a child to compare at the age of 8, 9, 5 against 5, 7 against 7. But 11v11 it requires a lot of mentality. Because you just have the ball 2 minutes with you. What are you doing the rest 88 minutes? How much hard you are. You are just pressing, winning those balls. This is what the message I tell you. Never give up. Keep working hard at your age, because if you work hard, definitely you will earn a spot for the team.
So, after such a thoughtful, insightful discussion, I think it's time for some strategy level questions that we would like to understand from you. So, if you probably have an access to, say, about 100 crore rupees to be spent on development of Indian football, where and how would you like to do that?
I would get in the capacity of players first, because players play a very important role in any state or any country. Building the capacity of players, building infrastructure, building good amount of training grounds. Again, 2 to 3 development centers, okay, where only the talented players are getting coached, so that we can pluck these players and we can make him play the national team. Good amount of quality coaching staff, okay, quality mentors, where I could spend, if necessary, okay, I can spend it on the gadgets, where if you see a player who's wearing a gadget, where you get the statistics of a player. Again, sports science is very important, okay. That is how I can invest my 100 crore.
And, this would be about the financial side. If you get to become a sports minister for the state of Maharashtra and the country of India for, say, a period of 6 months to a year, what changes would you like to bring into the system, and otherwise to make sure that India emerges as a great sporting nation and Maharashtra becomes a sporting superpower?
As I said, I will increase the number of participants first, because we require players to conduct a league, okay, we require players to represent something. So we will encourage participation, that is the first thing. Introduce more number of youth leagues and competitions, because the more number of teams we get in the competition, will get more number of talents to produce for the nation. And apart from it, as I said, we need to invest on quality coaching education, which AFF is doing a commendable job. Again, putting it back to the infrastructure, because right now it is a tough culture in Mumbai. What we have, we don't have an access to a natural football ground, where every district should have an accessible training ground at a very minimum cost rate. And again, as I said, building the capacity of coaches, educated coaches.
Right now in India, we need to invest in grassroots. The reason why we need to invest in grassroots is right now they don't have any study pressure. they are fresh, we can mold them, they are like a clay, we can make a ideal of it. ठीक है, जैसा सीखाएंगे वो बच्चे वैसे सीखेंगे. 15 or 20 years back we didn't had any grassroots. पहले सिर्फ elite leagues होते थे, बच्चे बड़े वाले खेलते रहते थे, and then we used to say that क्यों इंडिया क्यों नहीं क्वालिफाई हो रहा है, क्यों इंडिया की टीम नहीं बढ़ रही है. But now when we see there is a dream of every Indian that India should qualify for FIFA, India should play FIFA. तो ये कैसा होगा? ये तब होगा जब हमारे grassroots यहाँ पे तैयार होंगे.
My name is Reyansh Rajiv Radhakrishnan. I am in 4th grade and I am 9 years old. Hi friends, I am Rudra Jain. I study in 4th grade.
My name is Ivan Pradeep Jwale from 6th class.
Our coaches are very strict on the pitch, but off the pitch they give us a lot of advice and they are very funny. I love playing football because it is fun.
I love football because it gives me happiness, and I love our coaches. While training they are strict, but outside the ground they are very funny, and we respect them. And when I will grow, I want to become a professional footballer.
It motivates me to go ahead and play for big clubs, play for the Indian national team. They are also nice and teach us good things. When I grow up, I want to play for India.
My favorite coach is everybody.
Coming back to the most important question of football, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Nice. Favorite international football team?
Manchester City.
Okay. Favorite country, football country?
Argentina.
And which is the coach that has inspired you the most, or you have learned the most from?
I've been doing it since years, since I did my D, and been learning his books also and understanding his statistics. Also, it's Pep Guardiola, what I always admire, and it's a dream to meet him once in my life. Okay. But yes, Pep Guardiola.
Okay, so Barcelona, I'm sure, is one of your...
Initial in 2008 and 9, I used to admire them more because the culture again in Spain, when Pep was there with Spain, the culture was built through him.
Awesome. And then any words about Jose Mourinho? Because that's a coach rivalry as big as Messi, Ronaldo, and so any 2 words about Jose Mourinho?
A good tactical guy, I'll say. Low block under him is something I have learned. Okay, it is not only about what I follow only Pep, but if I've seen Arteta also under Pep doing good for Arsenal. Okay, currently they are Premier League table toppers. Okay. But I feel every coach, what I have been seen, I don't stick more on the tactics, but I see the work culture what they try to do, because under Mourinho, the low block what he plays, oh my god, amazing. He has a good tactical discipline with the backline.
Awesome. Any Indian coaches that you actually follow or you actually like them?
Indian for to an international level.
Generally, who inspire you? Whose discipline, whose work ethics?
Right now, see, I'll be very much honest, because the educators what I have been mentored with, all are good. Okay, I'll not mention specific name because everybody was there in my coaching journey, in my scouting journey. Because in Goa the educators were different, in Mumbai the educators were different. When I did my C in Punjab, the educators were different. So I will not name particularly any coach, but yes, I always say as coaches we are also forever the student of the game, and we need to keep learning and adapting, because this children's only in the academy will try to help you to be better individuals and be a better coach for themselves.
For sure. And one word to describe Indian football and the future of Indian football?
It's huge and it's promising.
So we are sure that in probably the next couple of World Cups, India would be one of the strong contenders.
Yes, definitely.
So closing the discussion on this very promising note, and we are so glad and we are so privileged to have Coach Paddy with us, who has actually given us the insights of grassroots football development. So all the parents, all the aspiring footballers, you should spend your half an hour watching this podcast. You should understand what it actually takes to become a footballer in India. And thank you, Coach Paddy. And it was a pleasure meeting you. And we look forward to working with you going ahead.
Thank you so much.